eliminate 90% of these games right off. Because, for various reasons. One, maybe you just don't like the game enough to speedrun it. Maybe you don't think you're good enough and you don't want to put in the practice for it. Or maybe the game just inherently doesn't make for a good speedrun. Some genres definitely make for better runs than others do, and some you really can't speedrun at all. So once you've eliminated a bunch of games, what game do you want to play? Well, better be something you like. And it better be something you like a lot, because you're going to be playing it a lot. One noteworthy personality in the speedrunning community once said that you should play the game until you're sick of it and you're insane, and then you should play it some more. While I don't necessarily advocate playing to the point of burnout that you never want to play the game again, it is one valid viewpoint. And in fact, a lot of the runs I've done, I have never actually picked up the game again except to play them for charity marathons once I get done with my run. Now, as I mentioned, some game genres are just better than others. And let me ask you, what games or genres would you think would make for good speedruns?
Platforming or side-scrollers?
Yes, that is one very good choice. Probably the main one, actually. Anyone else? Any guesses? RPGs are actually a surprisingly good choice for this. You wouldn't think so much, but I do have a video that some of you were watching while I was setting up that will utterly disprove that notion. The other big one is actually racing games, if you stop and think about it for a second, because they have timers built in. The whole point is to get to the end as fast as possible. If I were Count Dracula, I would probably say, "What is a speedrun? A miserable one-person race to the finish!" And consequently, there are some genres that just don't make for good speedruns, either because they're not all that entertaining or you can't really influence the time with them at all. And what are, in your minds, possibly some of those that wouldn't make for good speedrunning? Donkey Kong, actually, believe it or not, Donkey Kong has a speedrun on SDA.
Nice.
Sports games, maybe?
Sports games do not make for good speedruns in general, yes. The main category that doesn't make for good speedrunning is really anything auto-scrolling, or basically shoot-em-ups, or shmups as they're called now, to differentiate from first-person shooters. Things like Gradius. Galaga would not make for a good speedrun, no. But basically anything that scrolls on its own is not going to make for a good speedrun because you really can't influence the time on it at all. I'd like to show you a couple videos that kind of illustrate this point. The first is a video of one of the tracks from F-Zero X, run by someone calling themselves Winner. It's of the Firefield track, if anyone is familiar with F-Zero X. And the second one is a selection of levels from Double Dragon 2: The Revenge on NES, run by someone calling themselves Sinister One. And what's impressive about the Double Dragon 2 video is not immediately obvious unless you played the game, so I will explain that once I've shown these two videos. So first, F-Zero X.
Which system is this?
Wonderful.
honest, what made me pick that was over a number of other good F-Zero X videos was just the ending where he careens off the track when he has no control over it. That's actually the computer doing that. The other thing was the flash you saw near the end of the last lap was him actually lapping the staff ghost for the course. And now Double Dragon 2, the revenge.
And it's awesome. I guess the uppercut isn't the best move in the game. Bye-bye.
Exactly when they kick them off screen.
Yes. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so what's so impressive about doing one move a knee over and over again? Well, here's what's so impressive about it. When he lands from a jump, Sinister One has a 4-frame window in which to press A and B at the same time to actually execute the flying knee. Now, the hopefully not seizure-inducing flashing that you're seeing in front of you and behind me, that's not the computer malfunctioning. That is me demonstrating just what a 4-frame window looks like. That flash, that is 4 frames. That is the time in which he has to be able to actually do that knee. Now, as someone who has played the game a little bit, I can tell you that doing it once is extremely difficult, let alone consistently chaining it over and over like that. So, once you've got your game decided, the next step is to decide on what your run type is, and these are your 2 main choices. There are some further category breakdowns that I get into a little bit in the handout, but for now, we'll just discuss segmented versus single segment. And I should point out that sometimes the game will make this choice for you, in that if the game doesn't have a battery backup system at all, you can't save